Okay, so just moving on a small bit, we did a basic example and we just want to look at a slightly more difficult example, but the basic steps are the same. It's just algebraically, I suppose you have to just be a bit more awake when you're doing this one. So again, step number one was to find f of x plus h. So you're taking your original function and inputting x plus h in place of x. So in every case where you see an x, you're going to replace it with x plus h. So every case, x plus h is replaced. So we multiply out those brackets, being extremely careful in this situation here. You should start to see x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Okay, so x squared plus 2xh plus h squared is x plus h squared. What makes it a little bit trickier is that you have this negative minus on the outside of the bracket waiting, but just take one step at a time, square out the brackets first, and then leave this minus here, and then in the next line we can introduce that. Okay, so that turns out to be 2 plus 3x plus 3h minus x squared minus 2xh minus h squared, because that minus has to be applied to every term on the inside of that bracket. Alright, so again from our previous example, our second step is to subtract those two functions, f of x from f of x plus h. So again, I'm just going to write it underneath here. 2 plus 3x plus 3h minus x squared minus 2xh minus h squared, and we're going to subtract each of these terms in f of x. So you're taking away 2, you're taking away 3x, and you're taking away x. You're taking away minus x squared. So taking away minus x squared basically means that you're adding x squared. And what you should start seeing as you do more and more of these is that all the values, the original values of f of x, cancel out. All the original values disappear, and you're just left with values that have h in them. Alright, so we'll just that leaves us with 3h minus 2xh minus h squared. Okay, so just want to tidy that up. F x equals 3h minus 2xh minus h squared. So step 3 was, as we saw from a previous example, was to divide this by h. Alright, so we have 3h minus 2xh minus h squared divided by h. Okay, and that leaves us with 3 minus 2x minus h. Remember, each term is divided by h. So 3h divided by h is 3, minus 2xh divided by h is minus 2x, and minus h squared divided by h is minus h. Alright, so again, just to label everything correctly, so f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h is 3 minus 2x minus h. Finally, we have to introduce our limit. And again, the labeling is important. So everywhere, basically what this limit means is that we're reducing h down to 0. We've found this limit which is 0. So we're reducing h down to 0. So anywhere you have a h, you replace with 0. And in this case here, we only have 1, Okay, so all we basically have to do is you end up with 3 minus 2x. Alright, so our final thing then is just to tidy up again and to summarize what we've just figured out. So we have the limit as h goes to 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x over x is 3 minus 2x. And again, that is our answer, 3 minus 2x.